first note is this is the level in which movement matters most for improving, let's say. It's the one level where tight wall bounces are way more important than actual strats. So you'll see a common mistakes beginner runner do is just, for example, getting wall bounces that are way too high, like boom, when the platform you have to reach is like this one. You don't want to do whoo like that, you know?
Understood, yes. That sounds like me.
And so the one way you have to approach this level is just try the room and try to be as tight as possible with the movement, which is always good, but it's especially true in this level.
Okay, so you're saying this is a very good opportunity for me to grind this in a way that I should take it through the entirety of the game. But in this level, it's especially crucial.
Yeah, it really helped me build the right mindset for the rest of the game to actually see more frames and grid more frames in other levels. But this is where I learned it. So I feel like this is the place. This is the best place, I really feel, for actual frame gridding, actually seeing the dissecting every room and stuff like that. The one thing you'll notice is you land here from the beginning cutscene, and you'll want to have a super here, but if you hold right when you do the super, you won't have the red hair here. So you want to be neutral.
I can't do it right now.
Yeah, you want to be neutral on start.
Really?
Here. Yeah, you want to start neutral, super, and then start holding. Because if you start holding by the beginning, you'll have blue hairs as you jump. Here there are very many variants. The one I like most is this one, with the corner boost here, to land on the left side here. The sooner you dash, the better it is. And you don't want to climb here, of course. You don't want to do this climb jump. They are, as long as you can do this room in like 1 second, 0.6, it's good. It's like the time you should aim for, 1.6, 1.7, something like that. So here, the other thing you want is this one. So when you land here, you want to super here. It's not important that it's an extended super, but I like it like that. And you want to land on this place here, slightly on the left here, because you want to
bounce into the next room, right?
Yeah, you want to instant wall bounce without having to jump. If you don't reach the left part, you can't wall bounce off the left wall. So you have to jump here to reach the upper part. So you want to be on the left part. When you are here, if you go for IL strats, you want to not wall bounce, to climb on the left wall and then time another climb jump as soon as the transition ends.
So you want to land, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and here you can actually bobs drop off of this. Yeah, you see?
Yeah, of course.
You have to time it slightly after the bobs drop time window, okay? That's the entry for ILs. The most reliable, I'd say. It's also used in world records, so it's reliable and
it's pretty decent, I would say.
And I tell you now, the IL stupid strat, the hyper bunny hop with the shortest hyper bunny hop you can do. You want to land on the hyper right here around, okay? Here where this ladder is. Or even slightly before the sign, I'd say.
Yeah, I can get that consistently. I've done a lot of dumb hyper bunny hop strats.
Yeah, okay, then that's great. I basically had to learn here. And then you wanna, whenever you reach this trampoline, you wanna upright. That's slightly where you want to. And corner boost off of here with the neither a tap or a long corner boost. It's a mid one, if it makes sense, no?
Yes.
And here it's very hard to get consistently on the correct side here. But basically where you land, you wall bounce. Ideally you want to land here without sliding.
That's so great. Okay, yeah.
If you don't, you usually land on the left side and then you just wall bounce up here. You have the easy one, which is this one. You enter with a wall bounce here and you just do this. It's a wave dash into corner boost here and then a climb jump. That's the classic full game strat, which I strongly suggest anyone to do. The other one you can do is so you reverse here and
you forward dash into the spikes to get a corner boost.
Yeah.
Is that like faster?
It loses time to the IL strat, but it gains time to the full game run. That's the one. You have to buffer this right dash and you get here. So here I told you, you either land here or here ideally. Yes. Whenever you land, you just wall bounce in a way that you get to the left side. So if you land on the left side, you wall bounce and then you come to the left side, okay? And when you're here, you enter the room and you instant wall bounce here, holding right. And this wall bounce has to be as tight as possible. This is the one wall bounce where people mostly do woo, which is very bad. This one loses a lot of time if you can't do it properly. So here you just put yourself here, bash your head against this wall bounce until you get it clean, you know? As soon as you land, not really as soon as you can land, as otherwise you'll lose the dash like this. So you have to wait at least 1 frame on the ground. And then you extended hyper, extended super off of that one, and then wall bounce on entry.
Yeah.
To my understanding, nobody holds right.
Where?
But I really like here, on the wall bounce. After the wall bounce, I hold right.
Oh, this
I'm told that it's not the strat, but it really helps me get it tight. So
on the second wall bounce, yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, okay, great.
That's something weird.
I've been told by Plush, who has a better time than I do, so I trust him. But it doesn't. He told me it's not a problem. I timed it. It's still good. It's just odd. He told me.
Okay.
So when you're here, you land here. And here is just extended hyper into wall bounce. So here the strat is this one. You enter like this, okay?
Yeah.
Here there are 2 ways to approach this room. One is without a super here. You wanna land on this in any case to regain your dash.
Yes.
But you can slow down on the jump later so that you don't get a super. And then you'll wall bounce off of this one, and this is one of the hardest wall bounces to optimize.
Not commit a crime on.
But the timing for the up dash varies a lot, considering the fact that you want to get a super or you don't. So if you don't want to get a super, you wall bounce later. And for full game, I'd say not super, because it saves like 0.1 or something like that. It's not much. You wanna wall bounce earlier on the transition so that you are farther right, and then you'll get a super every time. But then it's not that you can buffer the up dash. It's slightly after where you buffer. Here the entry is stupid. It's just an upright dash with the corner kick, yeah, that's right. And on entry, what you want to do is you climb jump off, you corner kick of this one, and then you climb jump off the right wall here. You want to do a tiny climb jump. As soon as possible, you want to dash right. So even if you go very high here, you can see. Here I won't do it. You still land pretty soon because you right dash very soon. So it's not that much of an issue. still you want to do it because it saves time. And here is where strats become messy. I'll tell you 3. I tell you the super dumb one late, and the one strat I really don't like is the one most people do, which is the double super.
Yes.
It's like, it's very hard to optimize in my opinion. This room is generally very hard to optimize. The second one is slightly extended to avoid the wall, this wall here. Yeah, the first one is just super, and you want to do it in a way in which you don't go too high. And you don't want to climb jump, so you want to land directly here. And this is something that has no cues. It's just, you gotta feel it, you know? You try it, and you land here. You try
Wait,
it, and you land here.
there is a cue for this, at least in Coral Reef's cue collection.
Yeah, it's there?
Yeah, but when the block is... when the top of the block is at the bottom of the ice thing there.
I'll tell you about the other strats, and then we're gonna sync up at the spring. Is with a reverse into corner boost here.
Reverse hyper?
Yeah, it's a reverse extended hyper. Oops. And the one thing that makes it... I can't do it properly now. And the one thing that makes it functional is the fact that you can demo under this ice and perfectly reach the spring. Yeah, you want to demo here. You want to basically start the reverse almost as the traffic block ends the top.
Yes.
So that you still get the momentum, you have time to do the reverse. And that's the strat. You just reverse, corner boost here, and then demo under the ice.
Wait, you can't just super, but corner boost is faster, I guess.
Yeah. But the strat is like this. You still enter the same way and you dash here. And what you'll do is you wanna buffer 3 down dashes on the... Yeah, like that, you know? You buffer 3 down dashes and then you extend the hyper. This will give you the perfect height. So you'll be launched up with a dash, okay? What you'll have to do is time while you're fast. Yeah, you did it. Like that. You want a demo here while you're flying it, okay?
Do you know how to do the strat where you go over without a corner boost on the upper block? The one Aleph PB, in Aleph PB, for example.
Yeah, it's the same. Okay, it's the same strat. The one in Aleph run is exactly the same, except you don't do the buffer, the dash, but you YOLO it with the reverse. It's just you have to get the timing correct. It's the same thing. What we do here is we buffer 3 dashes just to have the extended hyper at the right time. Here you can just reverse at the right time if you know when to. I really don't, by the way. And Aleph still gets the double corner boost that this strat gets.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, the double corner boost is off of this wall, and this wall. This one and this one. It's those 2 corners, right?
Yes.
The setup makes it so that you're perfectly aligned with it. I'd say a reasonable goal for a very good time, not a sub 1, but almost a sub 1, is a 16 flat, 16.00.
Okay.
In that order. 16 is also a good start to understand if you really want to push for that sub 1. For sub 1, then I'd say something lower, like 15.7 at least. 15.4 is the best you can get with those strats. If you don't do the super, because that's the times I usually get. So if you really want a top time here, you want a wall bounce here. If you want a top time for the checkpoint itself, okay? But nobody wants a top time for the checkpoint itself.
Yes.
So you would rather want time for the whole level. So here you wall kick off of the right side and you wall bounce off of the left side, which is better for the entry in the next room, which then allows you to your wall bouncing here, and then you will just drift to the right and wall bounce here.
Wall jump here.
And yeah. sorry, and land here.
Of course.
Here is another point in which you want to be as tight as possible with the landing. So
Okay.
you can sometimes land here and be sad, but that's part of the learning process, you know? So here is where another path diverges. I really am bad at the bottom path. This one.
It's good as far as I...
Yeah, Prof is way better at it than I am. So I'll only teach the top part, which is the only one I know. And for this one is you wanna corner boost off of this lower part here. You want to reach this part around this place where I'm here, okay? So you wanna be very close to the left spikes when you do the wall bounce. You see, I don't go here. I don't dash here. I dash
you dash
here.
sooner.
The wall bounce works actually even more right, but the most, because of the way corner correction works and stuff like that, the best spot to aim for is this one. Is slightly to the right of these spikes. This is the best spot, and it's neither a short hyper, neither a long hyper. It's a midway hyper. It's something.
Yeah,
like
I feel that.
So you just put yourself with the safe state there. You just reverse. Try to hit this corner boost, and it gets consistent. It doesn't feel like it gets consistent, but it really gets consistent. I do it in full game, even without beta. The one thing you wanna make sure is that you wall bounce as low as possible. So
You mean corner boost, right?
you wanna hug as much as possible the spikes, and then you wanna land around
Oh, that feels so good.
where this bench is, somewhere in this place.
Sure.
And the entry strat for next room is just a small jump into demo hyper.
Oh, really? No hyper
Small
corner
jump
boost.
actually, small jump into demo, where then you just bash against the wall on the right. Here you wanna kill your speed by just bashing your head here.
Do you jump in the next room or in this room?
No, I jump in the next room. Someone jumps in the first room. I find that if I jump in the first room, sometimes I get stuck here.
Okay.
And I really don't like it. So I jump on the next room, but I see people do both.
Okay.
And here you bash your head here, so that you slow down.
So a full height jump.
Yeah, it's not really a problem. I don't think if you do a super tiny bunny hop, you still get you still get ruined by the fact that sometimes you land here.
Yes,
and
exactly.
this really is a problem. So you wanna have a really small climb jump, a really small jump here, demo, and then I can't get the correct one, and then just kill your speed here. So bash your head against the wall, and this will remove all your speed. You then drift to the left, dodge the spikes, and here is where we have to make a choice. Either you do the setup that also Relps does, which is I think it's double down right dash.
Oh, that's like cool.
Yeah, and this lines you up perfect. What you want to do here is, I really don't do that. I just do it regularly. So, but what you really want to do is buffer this wall bounce. So you want to make sure that the wall bounce particles, the dust particles, come from this corner, slightly lower than this corner. Here, you know?
Yeah.
Here, you don't want to see the particles here. You want to see them lower than the corner, like this. No? That's buffered. If you buffer it, you'll reach this crystal at the perfect height for you to then demo hyper off of it. You just want to stall in the air for a bit. You see? You stall in the air for a bit. Oops, that was not buffered. And then you demo hyper off of it. And here is where the messy part begins. The one thing I strongly not suggest to do is learn the super setup for it, which is like supering off of here and then, oops, not here. It's like somewhere around here, and then this. I really don't like this setup. It's very slow, and usually it only saves time if you have to do one of those categories that requires the heart. While the correct top route actually saves times also in 80%, as you can tell by the fact that anyone does it.
Yes, of course.
So in order for it to save time, it doesn't really save that much time unless you do it perfectly. So the one thing is you buffer this, the very steps are, you buffer these wall bounce here, you stall a bit in the air until you are lined up with the wood. So you stall a bit, and then here you want to get a demo hyper bunny hop, and this is a weird timing. It's not a full height bunny hop, the first one, because otherwise you'll fly off of the... See, you land here and you don't want... And it's not even a short bunny hop, otherwise you bang your head here. It's a full strat, unfortunately. The one thing I suggest is you start doing this strat as soon as possible, because I really learned it with time and by doing it a lot of times. So you'd rather start by learning it, and it's not like it loses too much time if you miss it, no? You just get here and then you do bottom route, no problem. So I'll go over bottom route first, because it's still a backup that you must know if you do this route. But I will not go on the movement here, which would be something like this, I think. On the correct movement here, if you already plan on doing bottom route. I will go it as a backup, let's say. Okay. So you'll miss this, and you'll be here. So I just hyper and land here. And what happens is, here you can just hyper off of that one and down dash on the other one, so that you stall on the left side, okay? There's a very cool strat that involves just doing a pair of climb jumps here that will give you increased height. Okay, you see? You can just right dash here. And it's just hold grab, press one jump button and then the other. Just 2 climb jumps. I was doing both of them too soon, which basically meant I was holding grab, I do 1, I do 2, and then I'm holding grab, and this kills my speed. I think that.
Okay.
But if you're here, you just super into the next room and you reach the trampoline. It's a right dash. Contrary to popular belief, the down right doesn't save time. What you want to get here is the second jump of the bunny hop. So this one, the one you'll get from this platform here.
Yes.
You wanna hold jump for the whole duration until transition, let's say, okay? So you'll want to hold jump, and then the cue to upright dash is the same as the other strat, which is this corner of the house. This corner here, the upright corner of the house. You wanna upright around here. And if you did it correctly, now I need to remove this, you land here.
Yes.
Here. And here is one of the other hard part of the top route, which is the correct way to climb this, which is climb jump, neutral, instant. If you don't land here is because you didn't hold for too much, and that's a very rare mistake, I'd say. Okay? And of course, the way to optimize it is just trying to be as close as possible to this one. So you don't want to do the second jump too high, you just want to tuck like that. So here you just want to not too hyper, and this will reveal the path. So I'll just reveal it first to make sure you see what we have to do. It's just hyper into bunny hop, climb jump, and you land here. This is where the hard part to optimize of top route is. You want to get an ultra around the A of this. It's not just a watch, it's the A of the A.
Okay.
It's not just A, that A. You get the Ultra around here, and you land perfectly on the very edge of this platform here, okay? Where the blue part is. What you want to do is not buffer the Ultra, and then you'll be in the next room being able to skip the trampoline. And the one thing you want to keep in mind for the next room is your when you land here and you do the bunny hop of the Ultra, you keep holding jump until you reach this trampoline. That's when you drop A. And this will, if I keep holding A, you'll see, I'll bash my head here.
Yes.
If I stop holding A on the trampoline, exactly, you see, I slide it off of it.
Yeah.
And this is what makes this strat speedier. I'm holding down right for the whole time, I'd like to point out. And then you just demo onto the trampoline. So you're holding down right for the whole time until you just don't. And if you did it good, you skip the climb jump here on the second. If you miss, it's not a problem. You landed here, you climb jump, and you land on the trampoline. This basically makes it almost on par with the other strat, so with proper bottom route. But if you skip the trampoline, you have gained 0.3 to 0.5, so that's great. What you then do is just up dash here, upright dash here. And here is another hard room. What you want to do for entry is just jump so that you're lined up with this platform, and you extend it super into up dash. What you do on entry is then supering off of this platform, and then corner boosting off of the ice. That's
so cool.
Side note here, doing it from the left side is not faster. You want to do it from the right side, which is also another problem coming from old times, let's say, where the strat was this one and it's not faster. And here you want to not jump, which was one of my mistakes in one of my old CTPBs. You just up dash into the next room with the wall bounce. Here is another very cool room. This is a very cool room to frame grid, actually. You want to, as soon as you enter the room, you want to start holding right, and ideally you hold right the whole time. There is a cue for this upright dash, which is that vertical pillar in the background here.
Okay.
Here, where I'm right now. This is the cue. Ideally here, you enter the room and you're already holding right. And you want to be as tight as possible, as close as possible to the spikes without hitting them. And this ideally should land you on the platform without stopping holding right, you know? Like
okay.
That.
Yeah.
And when you land here, you do an, oops, nice save state, I guess. When you land here, you just extend it super here. This is an extended super, not an extended hyper. And before reaching the wall, you just up dash and you get here. Here is where the stupid ultra room is. The strat is this one. I don't recommend it. It's a very tight...
It's a corner boost, right?
Yeah, but I really don't recommend it. The strat I recommend is you enter with a short hyper. You want to do it short, otherwise you bang your head here and you don't want it. So it's like this, and then you do either this one, so you wait as long as possible while falling, and then do a right dash into a hyper. I like to do a down dash here to make sure I land on the traffic block and not slide off. And the other thing you can do is just demo hyper off of the first platform here. So you have to time a demo hyper so that you demo hyper off of here, you extend it, and then you instantly ultra. Like this.
Okay.
So you are demo hypering off of it, and you have to ultra as soon as possible. The more you wait, the more time you lose. If you do this, keep in mind not to dash too high here. So not dashing here, because it loses quite some time. You'd rather want to dash as slow as possible. So dashing closer to here. To here. Yeah, okay, then we'll move to the next room, which is you'll enter with this momentum. It's the transition wall bounce. And you wanna just... It's this. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a wall bounce off of here.
Yes, a very low wall bounce in order to get as little air as possible. That's definitely another one where you can go woo.
Yeah, you want to... Ideally, this is another room where you wanna frame read it as much as possible, I'd say. And also the first wall bounce is not to be... here, you can frame read also the first one, where you wave dash from, this one. Another common problem is this one. Ooh, you see?
Yeah.
It's quite slower.
Can also demo hyper instead of wave dash, but that's kind of sucky.
Yeah. You see the problem? It's this one.
Yes.
It really doesn't save that much time, and the platform is not that big. Otherwise it doesn't extend, and you won't extend it here.
Of course.
So I'd really suggest the wave dash. The entry here, there are a million ways to do the next room. Most people do it like this, but it's quite slower than the strat Plush told me, which is you hyper and down right before the transition, so that you can, on entry, buffer, jump. I'm holding down right for the whole time, okay?
So it's a grounded
Jump.
ultra into up dash.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this basically is great because it lines you up perfectly in order to not overshoot this jump.
That's so cool.
Yeah, if you do it like that, you overshoot a lot, you see? Now I have exaggerated it a bit, but it's just, you see? You overshoot it a lot. And this strat actually doesn't overshoot it. The one strat I strongly suggest is this hyper bunny hop here. The other solution is something like you land here, you don't move, and you do an extended here, and then you enter this one with a wall bounce, which is the TGH found this strat. But this one is faster. This hyper bunny hop is faster. And you see, as soon as I up dash, I start drifting to the left. So that, you see?
Yeah.
The one thing that you can do to improve it is just, if you don't like this hyper bunny hop, you can just, whenever you land, you just keep holding left for a little longer. And you see, it lines it up. You don't lose that much time. You walk for a bit, of course. The one thing I can suggest, particularly for full game, is just to drift a little bit to the left. So that, yeah, you enter with climb jumps, is super, and you wall bounce here. So what you do here is, here you have just to extended hyper. You don't have to get your dash back. You have to get it here, okay? You don't have to get it here on this platform. Here you just extend a bit, because if you don't, it's way harder. You don't want to fast fall here. If you did everything perfectly, you should T-pose slide onto this this middle platform without... You see, I land here, right? If you do it perfectly, you'll see it. Maybe I'm too far. Yeah.
You slide off of the edge, basically, yeah.
You don't see yourself landing, but you get dash back. It's kind of rare and similar to RNG, but it's really cool. But you should. It's not something you should pay too much attention to. You just slide here, up left. Oops, up left, 2 climb jumps, and you land here. For the entry of the next room, you just wall bounce here without jumping, just a wall bounce here. And you should be already almost at the top. Here you just do one climb jump, and you should be lined up on the left to then do another transition climb jump here. And this lines you up perfectly to do a left dash. And here is another hard to frame grid room. That's the strat. So what you'll do here is you got onto this trampoline, you drift to the left and you wall bounce. And this wall bounce it's really hard to get it perfectly, you know? You can get it you can overshoot it, that's not a problem, of course, if it's hard. And the one thing you want to keep in mind, which is very bad in my PB actually, is you want to do this climb jump as low as possible. This climb jump up of the crumbling blocks here. This was a good climb jump. You don't want to do like in my PB, which I go like this. And then here, you don't want to fall into this extended hyper ultra trap. That's a trap. I fell for it, of course. You just want to hyper, and then you wall bounce off of the left part there. Left, not right part. This, like this. Okay. Another common mistake here, which you do a lot of the times, is to wall bounce off of this part, which is quite slower. Try as much as possible to wall bounce off of this blue, dark blue platform rather than the light blue one. So you're here, you wall bounce onto the next room, you super here, and you should be landing around this one, which is slightly lower than the top of this one. Here is where full game and IL really change. So you're supering here. If you're doing IL, you want to do a mid-height climb jump here. Mid-height, not max height like this, and not short, otherwise you land on the left spikes, and you do this corner boost here. The one way people do it sometimes is just to do 2 climb jumps here. So 2 climb jumps here, and then they land here. But at this point, you might as well do the normie strats, I'd say. This one, right?
Yes.
You don't lose that much time at that point. So if you really want to save time with it, you have to do it with 1 climb jump and corner boost. And the one way I find best to line up this corner boost is by not looking at Madeline, but looking at these tiles here. I fix my eyes here, and as soon as I see Madeline's, I try to dash. You want to dash as late as possible without hitting the spikes. And the very hard part about this strat is getting the corner boost at the perfect height. You can overshoot it. This was good actually, but you can go. You see, if I overshoot it, I don't land and I climb here, and this is a problem. You want to land here. So if you go too limp, you get this, and you don't reach, and that's a problem. That's the perfect, okay?
Yes.
What you want to get next is just a jump into demo hyper here, and this will basically line you up perfectly with the spring. Okay, what I'm doing is 1, 2, 3. It's 5 climb jumps. Oops.
With the last one being a neutral.
The last one is actually, this one is a neutral, the one that climbs from the bottom part to the upper part, okay? And what you do here is you kick off of this wall, you kick off of here around, anywhere around this place, and you go with a, with a diagonal around this place here. You see, I try to slide as few as possible. Sliding is this, okay? Yes. It's when I'm at the wall and I'm falling down. You don't want that. You just want, as soon as you hit the wall, you want to kick as soon as possible. Sliding is not like will not make the strat work, but it will make it significantly slower.
Okay.
And you want to get a feel for where you want to upright dash, and there you want to go neutral when you kick. So I'm upright dashing, and as soon as I dash, I go neutral. So that I can neutral kick here. And if I neutral kick, you see, it just lands me here.
Yes.
What you then do is just drift a bit to the left, so that you land slightly more to the left here, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And here is the place where you don't want to do the ugly corner boost, because this corner boost is it saves, like, if you do this perfectly, and it's very hard to do perfectly because you have to basically line it up YOLO like this, it only saves 5 frames to a perfect fish strat, which is this one. It's you wall bounce here without jumping. You just wall bounce here, you drift to the right with the right dash, you just land here, then you jump, demo hyper. You can also fit an ultra here, but it's not that big of a deal. Just like that.